I'm excited, but I'm ready to get right into it, man. Joe, there's been a lot of talk about the tush push, bro. Here we go again, right? Here we go again. Philadelphia Eagles, fresh off of a Super Bowl championship. And we're not talking about that. We're not talking about free agency a ton. We're not talking about the draft. We're not talking about none of that. We're talking about the tush push. Apparently, it was an unnamed team put in a request to ban the tush push. Right? Then that unnamed team ended up being the Green Bay Packers. I don't know if they wanted that to leak, but it ended up leaking that it was them. You know, we've heard the head coach for the Falcons come out and say, "I thought it should be banned 3 years ago." Joe, man, at this point, now we've seen it for about 3 years now, back to back. How do you feel about the tush push? Should it be banned from the NFL?
All right, I do want to read what he said though. All right.
Okay.
This is the Packers uh president, Mark Murphy. He said, I am not a fan of this play. There is no skill involved, and it's almost an automatic first down on plays of a yard or less. The series of plays with the Commanders game series of play with the Commanders jumping off sides in the NFC Championship game to try to stop the play was ridiculous. The referee even threatened to give the Eagles an automatic touchdown if the Commanders did not stop it. I would like to see the league prohibit pushing or aiding the runner QB on this play. Okay, all right. So, do I think they should ban it? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm all for it. I'm all for the ban. If they don't want to ban it, it is what it is. But I can't understand why teams want this ban because the Eagles figured it out. The Eagles are very successful at it. Very successful at it. I mean, Nick Sirianni said it himself. I mean, it's 3 down territory. I mean, it's basically 4 down territory. Like we just look to get too close to the first down. On third down, it's money from there. So they really got an extra down in their head because they know that they got the touch push. See, the rule to push your play, you know how you hand the ball to the running back and they'll get pushed into the end zone? That rule got changed in 2006 when you can do that legally. Because at first that was illegal. Now you can do it legally. And what the Eagles have done was, whoa, how about we do that pre-snap though? How about we get 2 or 3 guys behind that quarterback and just push them in the end zone? How are they going to stop it? They can't practice it. You can't simulate this play at all. Although Nick Sirianni said they found ways to practice it. But you can't practice it. So how can you stop it? The Eagles they got the big guys up front. They got Jalen Hurts who squats 600 pounds. You got Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, or even AJ Brown pushing you in. 3 strong dudes, all right? So I get why they want to ban it though. Because I mean, once upon a time, Will Chamberlain used to goaltend all the time. It was part of the rules. It's a block shot. But it was hard to score on that. So they was like, you got to do something about this. And what they do? They added goaltending to it. So I see the tush push as a loophole because although it's a quarterback sneak, but at the end of the day, it is multiple guys pushing your guy across the line. I think that's where the rule's gonna be. All right, we get why we want to ban it because they throwing in injury. And then Andy Reid, he said this. This is the last thing I'm saying. I'm turning to you. He said, because they talk about Sean McDermott, who mentioned like he expressed injuries when he runs it himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest with you, I think him coming out, it makes it worse for the Eagles because it's somebody who's actually using it, who's also calling the bandit. And y'all not a threat to them. They're in the AOC. So this is what Andy Reid said. Now, obviously, he just lost to y'all. So he probably like, you got to get rid of this play.
Right,
but look,
right.
he agreed with Sean McDermott. He said that's how I feel as far as the injuries. But these committees take care of all this injury stuff. Then he said, you hear Jason Kelsey coming out. He said it when he was playing. He said it when he was retired. And I got a lot of trust in that kid. He's tougher than the shoe leather. You know he old about saying that.
Right.
He's out there going, this is Jason Kelsey. This is a great play, but it kills me. As a center, I was getting destroyed. That in itself is an alarm that you got to look at. Andy Reid pushed the button right there. He said even your guy that actually started it for real is complaining about it. So I think I told you, AJ. I think they're gonna ban the tush. But I think we had this conversation. I think they're gonna ban the tush push because too many people are starting to complain about it, and it's not, it's aiding the player.
But do you think they should?
I I mean, look, if the Eagles won in my division and I ain't had to deal with the fans, I'd be like, nah, you ain't gotta do it. But ban it, get it out of here. Talking about, you see the W talking about it? Like, talking about, come on now.
Oh man,
But I get both sides though.
Joe, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I hope they ban it. I hope they
Okay.
banned it. And the reason why I say I hope they banned it is because as an Eagles fan, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it, bro. And my biggest thing about it, bro, is, one thing I noticed when we was running it in 2022, granted, we didn't run it as much, but we really started to run it in 2022, right? There was a lot of talk about it. A lot of talk about it. I noticed in 2023, when we went on that downward spiral, wasn't much talk about the tush push no more. That offseason, it was crickets. Nobody talked about the tush push. We're going to leave it in the game. This year we come back, we're dominant again, second half of the season, post-bye, make the playoffs, go on our run, win the Super Bowl, and here it comes again. Shit, we got to ban the tush push. We got to do something about it. And it's like, my question to the Green Bay Packers or to the Atlanta Falcons or to any other team that has an issue with this is simple. Do y'all think this is going to help close the gap between the Eagles and y'all? Because it's not. It's not. Like, my gripe is this, Joe. How are we getting to 4th and 1? How are we getting to 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal? Y'all are having a hard time stopping us from getting in this position. You think if we went to the regular QB sneak, we still wouldn't get the first down? It might not be as effective, right? But the Eagles will probably do a lot of the same stuff. Like you brought up Jason Kelce. They're gonna run the QB sneak a very similar way. That's gonna hurt Jason Kelce. It's all about getting really low to the ground and leverage. That's them helping to push Jalen Hurts over the line is not the part that hurts the center or is hurting Jason Kelce. It's him snapping, getting extremely low to the ground, using that leverage, and then the defensive line jumping over him or reaching over him trying to make the tackle. That's going to be there in the QB sneak as well, which is going to be ran either way, right? The Green Bay Packers ran the same play against us 2 or 3 times in the wild card round, converted every time. Why don't y'all just – if I was any other team in the NFL, I wouldn't say a word. I would literally mimic the same thing and just not use my quarterback. I would do exactly what the Green Bay Packers did against us in the wild card round. I would motion my tight end over, hike the ball under center, and do the same thing. I would do the same thing. But my biggest thing, Joe, is I just feel like we are the only team in the league that runs this effectively. And that's why I feel like the league, while I can understand it, the league has to push back to an extent. Because it's like, yes, we understand the quote-unquote injury risk. Yes, we understand the pushing of the quarterback, and it's automatic, and it could be automatic and all these things. But the fact that only one team does this super effectively and the rest of y'all don't, it just makes the rest of y'all look a little soft. It make y'all look a little weak, like y'all trying to ban a play that only this team does well. I wonder if it was the Green Bay Packers that consistently ran this play well, if they would have the same gripe. I wonder if the Atlanta Falcons ran this play consistently the same way as us and had the same amount of success, they would have the same gripe. I wonder if the entire league did the same exact play and had the same success as us, if they would still want it to be banned, Joe. I highly doubt it. But since it's the Philadelphia Eagles that run it to this extent, they run it as often as they run it, right, and have this type of success. Now, we got to step in and do something about this. Come on, man. If we was the Cleveland Browns, we weren't winning nothing. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. So I look at it, honestly, as a cop-out. It's not as if we haven't seen it stopped. If I'm not mistaken, Washington stopped it in the NFC Championship game going for a 2-point conversion. It's not as if we haven't. I've seen the coach stop it at one point. I've seen other teams stop it. So it's not like it's impossible. It's hard to stop because we're good at it, but it's not impossible to stop, right? So it's not as it's to me, Joe, it's lame. But as an Eagles fan, I want the NFL to ban it. I want them to get rid of it because all we're gonna do is find other creative ways. We have an aggressive coach We're going to find other ways to go forward on fourth down and convert. And we still going to smoke y'all. I just want the rest of the NFL to know you're still going to get smoked. What you need to do is you need to focus on improving your roster. You want to know why it works? Because we have Jalen Hurts. You want to know why it works? Because we have one of the best offensive lines in the game. That's a big part of it. Maybe you should get a quarterback that squats 600 pounds and improve your offensive line. Maybe you should go sign a running back. Maybe you should go get some great receivers. Maybe you should go get a great defense. Maybe if you focused on that, you wouldn't care much about the tush push because maybe you'd be better than us and we wouldn't be a problem. That's how I see it, Joe. Focus on making your team better. And you won't have no problem with the tush push because we lost a bunch of games last year using the tush push and nobody said anything. So that's just my 2 cents, man. I hope they get rid of it and we smoke these guys.
Yeah, people are complaining because it's successful. That's why it's being a complaint. But I do think the tush push is a now do I think it's gonna like take y'all from 100 to like 60? No. I do think the tush push is a big part of y'all success though. Like sure. Now I'm not gonna say it's a bigger part, but it's a huge part. Being able to extend drives is key. And that tush push is like it is automatic. Y'all have the right pieces for it. I mean, I'm looking at y'all numbers. Y'all fourth down percentage as a whole is 70%. The tush push was 81%. And that's third downs, including that. Because there were times when y'all on third down, it was like 4th and 2, third and 2. Okay, we went to tush push it twice. Boom, boom. Times y'all did that. So that's 50% right there. Was really 100% on fourth down. So like, if you take away the tush push, I want to know what's the Eagles' fourth down conversion rate without the tush push. That's a stat I haven't found. I want to see that
because I haven't found that either.
It's a big difference. Like I look at us. The big part about success, we were 87% on fourth down in the regular season. 87. So and outside of us, only y'all and the Bills are up there because of the tush push. And you got the Chiefs because they got Mahomes. We got JD5. But that's I had to throw him in there. You know how to do it.
All right. I knew it was coming.
But seriously though, like I wanna get that stat. If somebody listening, what's the Eagles' success rate on fourth down without the touch push? Because I do think it's a different game if y'all don't do the touch push.
It's a different game. I don't know the numbers behind it, but just by watching the Eagles, like we have converted multiple fourth downs, throwing the ball deep. I didn't see Jalen Hurts drop back, throw the ball on 4th and 2, lob to AJ Brown. We did exactly. We did this on the NFC Championship game. Like we did it in the Super Bowl, but we didn't get it because they called a flag on AJ Brown, right on the first possession of the game. Like that's why, like it just, I just, even though I think it'll help teams at the end of the day, bro. Like we also have Saquon, bro. Like we turn around and hand the ball off to Saquon. That's probably gonna be behind that offensive line with Jalen Hurts being a threat to run. Like we're still gonna convert a lot of first downs on 4th and 1. Like the best way to stop this is to prevent us from getting to those to 4th and 1. Like that's the best way to.
Easy said and done, though.
But see, this is the thing. Why is it easier said than done? It's easy. Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
It's easier said than done because Howie Roseman has built a great roster. So you know what you do to combat that? Build a great roster. The Green Bay Packers don't have a great roster. They don't have an elite offense. They don't have an elite defense. The Atlanta Falcons don't have an elite offense. They don't have an elite defense. Like, if I'm a GM or if I'm an owner, my issue is not the tush push. My issue is my personnel. I have to improve my personnel on both sides of the ball to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. That's where your focus should be. Not we gonna ban this move. The Green Bay Packers have made the playoffs several years. The tush push wasn't around when Aaron Rodgers was losing to the 49ers in the playoffs.
You're right.
Tush push wasn't around, you know what I mean, when they lost to the 49ers last year with Jordan Love. Well, it was around, but that didn't cost them the game. The tush push didn't cost them the playoffs, the wild card game this past year against us. That's not the reason why they lost. It's like My bad. Go ahead.
I'm with you, but I was disgusted too when Frankie Louisville was getting called off sides.
Mm-hmm.
Like all he was trying to do is time it because y'all had did a tush push to play before that, and
Y'all
y'all
stuffed
didn't
it.
get in.
Yes.
But y'all moved though. Y'all got a little closer.
Yeah.
And that next one was an automatic touch. Y'all was not gonna get stopped. Y'all move forward every time. So what he tried to do is time it, and then they threatened to give y'all 7 points.
I
That
mean,
was crazy.
technically, that is the rule, though, bro. It is the rule. If you jump off sides X amount of times in a row like that, purposely, technically,
No,
yeah.
he did not purpose. He was trying to time it.
But I mean, you still purposely you're trying to time it, right? But you're not. How do I phrase it? Like,
Because it's an automatic TD. Literally automatic. Like it's no way they were going to stop y'all from getting another inch.
but see, this the thing. If people really watched, the tush push does not get stopped by people jumping over the line of scrimmage. It stops with the leverage on the offensive line. It stops. It gets stuffed. It gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Like guys jumping over the line. Most of the time, it never works, bro.
But y'all needed literally like another because we had stopped y'all and y'all got a little inch forward.
We needed like an inch to get in.
Y'all literally like another like nose football that y'all was gonna get in. So he like, let me just time it. So what he's saying is, yo, that was the man can't even stop it. They had to try to time the stop, try to time the snap. So as an Eagle fan, if I'm an Eagle, I'm like, yo, stop crying, get over it. I see it as it's a loophole in the system. Literally, like you got guys pushing this 600-pound squatting dude forward. That's like it is like I mean, I'm sorry.
But if you could push the running back,
and people do that. People had done that with their tight ends and all that stuff, you know.
If you could push the running back who's probably stronger than Jalen Hurts, then it might be a loophole, but it's smart. You could push the running back. How come we can't push our quarterback?
No, you can't push this. They don't line up like the tush push though. It's more so like he hit the hole first, and then everybody start pushing. This is y'all from the jump pushing Jalen Hurts. That's hard to beat, bro. Like it really is. Like you already got a disadvantage right there. Like, come on, man. It is advantage. Whoever's doing the tush push. I feel like if every team did a tush push, everybody fourth down rate would go up tremendously. It's just a big injury risk to their quarterback because they're not as big as Hurts. But if I'm the league, I get why they try to ban it. They're like, bro, nah. And as a viewer, this is phantom out of it. I kind of hate that play because it's so predictable. It's like it's literally guaranteed. When it's 4th and 1, it's like, okay, they don't get the first down. The few times I get stopped, I'm hyped. Like, oh my god, they got stopped. That's a few times though. But what's more exciting? Y'all go out and actually convert the regular way. Like everybody else, like y'all go out, hand the ball out of Saquon, throw it to somebody. Then it's more like, okay, they tush push, all right. That's why all them tush push touchdowns Jalen Hurts get no credit for it. It's like, bro, it's like you getting pushed into the end zone.
But if you think about it, the tush push wasn't around till Jalen Hurts was around.
You're right.
So I mean, and all that said, and we throw so much shade at my guy. Just think about everything he's accomplished. If this gets banned, just like you said about Will, like they banned the goaltender because of Will. They gonna ban the tush push because of Jalen Hurts. Like, dang, like that's greatness. That's greatness.
Now, what I will say this though, if they ban that tush push, and his rushing TD numbers go from like what? How much he getting nowadays? If it goes from what 15 to like 5,
I mean, he's still going. Jalen's still gonna get in the end zone, bro.
If he
Russell touchdown wise, he's still gonna get like before the tush push, he was averaging 10 touchdowns a season. I think in 2021 he had 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, you say average. That's once.
We're not average, but I'm saying like my bad. Okay, he had like 10 rushing touchdowns the first year he was a starter.
Okay, if he go from like 15 tush push touchdowns to like 6 or something for the whole year, they're gonna be like, bro, like.
I ain't worried about it. He's still gonna get in the end zone. Where the Eagles still gonna get in the end zone. I ain't too worried about it. And like I said, I hope they ban it. Before we move on, real quick, bruh. Nobody told Chris Jones to line up all sideways and put himself in harm's way, bruh. Nobody told him to do that. That's on Chris Jones.
When I saw that, I was like, they're gonna ban it.
I
saw Chris Jones get hurt in the Super Bowl, bro. He get Chiefs too. And
man, get out of here, man.
But anyways, good.